All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. I figured I'd squeeze one more video in here before the weekend starts. And I may this weekend work on my John Wick reviews. So look for those coming up probably this weekend, because there probably won't be a whole lot of DC information dropping over the weekend. But a couple of big things dropped today in regards to Warner Brothers, DC, and Superman, and I had to make sure that I got it all covered for you guys going into the weekend. Some surprising things came out today, so we're going to jump into these screen grabs. Now again, before I get into the grabs, I have to ask you guys, if you like this video, please hit that like button, then hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I have new videos go up, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Well, you got to like the video, then hit subscribe, then hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I have new videos go up. I have a lot of returning viewers who found out they weren't subscribed and they thought they were subscribed, and others who come and just aren't subbed yet. What are you waiting for? Please do it. I'm having the biggest month I've ever had on YouTube this month, and I only have you guys to thank for that. And I'm very appreciative of everybody who watches my video and everybody who supports me. And I always promise you I'm going to be 100% honest with everything I do. With that said, let's get into these screen grabs. First up, I woke up to this today and just about passed out when I saw this. David Zaslav has given himself a raise. A 4% raise. How many people get a 4% increase on their jobs throughout the year? Yes. David Zaslav, the guy who is running Warner Brothers into the ground. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav's 2024 pay rises 4% to nearly $52 million. Only at Warner Brothers do you fail upwards. All right, guys, we have more for the Supergirl movie. This is our first official look, real good look at the costume. Obviously, it's not clear, but this looks like it. First of all, you could tell that the S is the same as Superman's, and her costume is exactly like it is in the Woman of Tomorrow comic book. Now, I've never read that comic. I am going to read it this weekend and see what it's all about. I'm not a fan of the writer of this comic, and if it's going to be a retelling of that story, I don't think a lot of people are going to be happy with it. But I'm going to read it this weekend and kind of talk about that next week. But I've seen the video for this. I can also confirm that in the other photo I showed the other day, it is in fact Lobo. And so some pretty cool things have been released. There are some better videos out there if you guys want to go look for them on Twitter. Now, a lot of people took this as David Ayer being serious, but he was joking. Someone asked him, is it possible to know what this shot was about? David Ayer said that was the Joker and Superman fight that was cut. And he said that jokingly. And what's funny is people are picking this up all the way back from 2018, which is crazy. We already know there was over an hour of stuff cut from Jared Leto from this film that has never been seen. And David Ayer deserves his right to see his cut released. Hopefully we will see that happen one day. Also, drop movie star Brandon Sklenar, whose favorite Batman is Christian Bale, already knows how he'd play his version of Batman in the DCU. I would gladly take that torch, and I would not take it lightly. I like to hear that. Now, I made a comment in my last video that he looks skinny to me, and he does. But a lot of people said if you've watched 1923, you will see that he actually could pull this character off. Now, I am a huge fan of Taylor Sheridan. And the only Yellowstone projects, or pretty much any project he's done I have not watched yet, is 1923 and the 1883, or whatever the show is. I haven't watched those yet. I think I am going to go ahead and watch them. My wife and I started the first episode of this and never went back to it. I do have them. We just have to watch them. But a lot of people are saying he would pull off the character quite well. I hope he's gruff enough to do it. I don't know. I haven't seen his acting really, so I can't make a comment on whether he'd be good or not. I just don't think he really looks like Bruce Wayne, but that's just me. Now, I thought this was funny. Hallmark is now putting out a Superman I have to laugh at this picture because it does look like he has a belly. This Hallmark ornament. I laughed when I saw this for several reasons. One, in his arms, it looks like he has muscles. The suit does not make it look like he has muscles, okay? And it does look like he has a belly based off of this pose. Some people have made that comment, and some of the other promotional materials. I think it looks kind of funky, but it does look like David Cornsweet, that is for sure. Now, this is pretty interesting. The Cleveland Guardians, this baseball team. I really wish they'd go back to their original name. I don't like the Guardians. I think it's stupid. But it says Truth, Justice, and a Better Tomorrow. The Guardians are excited to host DC Superman Night Wednesday, July 23rd. So this will be after the film releases at Progressive Field. Fans will have a chance to show off their Superman pride with a Metropolis Meteors t-shirt giveaway for the first 15,000 fans. All right, now there are some pictures here, and we're going to look at each of these. So here's the first photo. This is the promotional shot. Again, this is the same shot we've seen from everything. They're not releasing a whole lot of new stuff, although there was a new promotional image, not directly from the film itself, but a behind-the-scenes photo that was released today, and we're going to look at that towards the end of the video, and I'm going to talk about my thoughts on it. But again, this reiterates it's on Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025 at 6:40 p.m. This is also a pretty cool jersey. Well, it's not even a jersey. It's a T-shirt that kind of looks like a jersey. But this T-shirt giveaway, you know, if someone's going to be there, I would love to get one of these shirts. So if one of my viewers ends up going or is in Cleveland and you guys can snag one of these, I would love to get one. Putting superheroes and baseball together is like my dream come true. I am a baseball fanatic. A lot of people don't know that I absolutely love baseball, and I have my entire life. And so if anyone's going to be there and can snag one, I would greatly appreciate it. All right, and the last thing that they have, and I laughed when I saw this too because this is the bobblehead that they're going to be giving away. And this is a cool bobblehead. Now, again, if anyone's going to be there and they don't care and they get one of these, I would love to get a copy of get one of these. But I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to show you something that I think is absolutely hilarious. If you look here, he's got muscles everywhere. He even has a six-pack. Nobody portrays the suit. Why are all of the materials around him not accurate to what the suit is in the movie? I just don't get it. I laughed out loud when I saw this. It is hilarious that they won't show it the way it actually is. It's too funny. Also, it was confirmed by Deadline that the Batman 2 script is still not ready, and that is to be expected with what's going on. I talked about this in my last video. Reeves is definitely going through something, and we don't know what it is, but the cat was put out of the bag, let out of the bag by Grace Randolph, and now everyone is talking about it, and I feel for Matt Reeves. I hope whatever he's going through, his health, his family, everything he's dealing with has to come first. So when he's ready and it comes out, it'll come out. I still don't think the movie's ever going to get made. I don't think James Gunn wants this to continue, but, you know, that's speculation on my part. So this is hitting all the airwaves today. Warner Brothers, Mike DeLuca says James Gunn crushed it with Superman. It's the Superman I grew up with. It's so epic and visually arresting and emotional. The performances are great. It's a 5-star movie. This is coming from Deadline. We're going to look. They did a really long interview with Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi. I encourage everybody to actually go read it. It's very insightful. They talk about a lot of stuff, not just Superman. This is only a small part of what they were interviewed for. But we're going to look exactly at what he said here. So here's what he said. I love Superman. I think James Gunn has crushed it. It's got tons of his trademark heart and humor, and the action is jaw-dropping. It's the Superman I grew up with, so I get choked up when I watch it. I think it's so epic and visually arresting and emotional. The performances are great. It's a 5-star movie to me, and I can't wait for the world to see it. Yeah, we're really excited about Superman. James crushed it. Okay, there's more that we're going to look at here in a second, but here's what I have to say about this, and people have to understand what is happening behind the scenes. First of all, Pam Abdi and Mike DeLuca, their jobs are on the chopping block. Do you really think if he didn't like Superman that he's going to come into this interview, talk about it, and say he doesn't like it? That would be suicide. He'd be let go immediately. Of course he's going to talk about it in a positive light. This is very reminiscent of what James Gunn said about The Flash. He said it was one of the best superhero films, or it was the best superhero film he's ever seen. And look at how that ended up. All right. I don't trust anybody who works for the studio and what they say about any movies, especially when it comes to Warner Brothers. Now, there is still a chance. There is a chance that this movie may end up being great. And I will tell you if it is when I see it. I'm going to go watch it one time, and no matter how good it is, I will not be going back. And I'm not going to encourage my friends or family to go see this film. It's time to take a stand against Warner Brothers. But if the movie is good, and it's as good as they say it is, I will definitely tell you guys. I will be 100% honest in my reviews. Then Deadline goes on to ask him a closer cousin to the Richard Donner directed originals with Christopher Reeve. DeLuca says, I would say in spirit it is closer to that, but it is also a big hunk of epic sci-fi. It has a little bit of what I loved about Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's true blue Superman. The conflict sources that he uses for inspiration, All-Star Superman, and the like are in there too. It is really a love letter to what has made Superman endure for almost 100 years. He managed to get it all in there. I certainly hope this is true. I don't trust James Gunn. I don't trust Warner Brothers. I don't trust them to make anything other than a comedy at this stage. They need to prove they have to deliver on this, and they have to deliver big. All right, so Collider. This is another photo, another bit of material that got released today that is being talked about everywhere. This comes from the Collider, and they have been talking about the summer movies coming out, and this was what they talked about today. Now, I am going to point out, James Gunn cannot help but be in every photo that they release. I think it's freaking hilarious. But here's what I will tell you. This is the best photo I think they've released from the production so far. I do. This maybe should have been the first photo that they showed rather than the depressed Superman putting his boots on in his apartment with stuff going on in the background. Maybe this is what they should have released. It doesn't give you a real good look at Lex, but he's obviously there, and we get to see Superman. But back then, they were afraid to show people the trunks. Now, what I find interesting is that this suit looks a lot tighter fitting than what we've seen in a lot of the behind-the-scenes photos outside in the light. So, I don't know, guys. This is kind of weird. I'm hoping that it looks more like this. So there is still a chance this could be good. I don't have a lot to say about this photo that I don't like, except for the fact that James Gunn is freaking in it. I wish they would focus on the characters and not so much James Gunn. I really do. James Gunn is really... I've never seen another director like this do this much promotion like this before, putting themselves in front of the camera for everything that's getting released for a film. It's just weird. So this is what Collider had to say. We're wrapping up our summer movie preview with a not horrific. How ironic is that? We're wrapping up our summer movie preview with a heroic finale. Here's an exclusive sneak peek at Superman, featuring David Corenswet, Nicholas Hoult, and director James Gunn. Actually, it should say featuring director James Gunn, David Corenswet, and Nicholas Hoult. Don't forget to look up when it hits theaters July 11th. All right, we'll see what happens when it finally gets released. All right, guys, so there you have it. A lot of stuff over this week. In the first 10 days, you guys have been extremely generous on my channel with all the videos, all of the views. You know, for being such a small channel, my videos are getting quite a few views, and I attribute that to... I really don't know what to attribute it to other than the fact that I'm always going to be honest with you. I'm always going to deliver and give you the commentary the way I see it, and I'm never going to just switch and be something else that I'm not, like I see a lot of YouTubers do. I think it's ridiculous, and I know what I like and what I don't like, and I'm always going to stay true to that. I promise you guys that. I cannot be bought. And with that said, there is one other thing I wanted to talk about, and supposedly... And I saw this reported in many places the other day, that there was another viewing of Superman, and it's been confirmed by several people, and I still don't know if it's true, that over 20 minutes was cut out of the film. Now, this would be after what Mike DeLuca said they saw, okay? Keep that in mind. And it said that there were probably some secrets that weren't revealed in this showing, but people came away from this showing not liking what they saw. Most of the reviews were mediocre to negative at best, to mediocre at best. And this doesn't bode well this close to this being released, that it keeps getting retooled like this. And so, guys, there's a lot of information coming out. We don't know what's true and what's not. And it's going to be interesting to see, usually when there's this kind of buzz behind a film and they talk about all these reshoots and things that are going on, where there's usually smoke, there is fire. We've seen this in the past with a bunch of other films, most recently with the last Captain America film. So I don't know. I don't think this bodes well for the film. There's still a sliver of hope that the movie's going to be great, but at the same time, I do want Warner Brothers to burn and for them to be purchased by somebody else. I just don't trust Warner Brothers. I think Zaslav is a horrible CEO. He doesn't care about film. That is for dang sure. And we'll see where this ends up at the end of the day. But, if the movie ends up being good, I will tell you guys. All right. What do you guys think about my video? Chime off below, and we will see you on the next video.